What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. This is your Monday Madness, and I got a jam-packed video. But I need you to like, share, and subscribe this, and I need you to come along with us on the journey. Check the description tab out. All the tools and tidbits and all the links to everything, products, and services Trader War Room has to offer. And if that sounds good and you're ready to rock it with me, then all I got to say to you is follow me, and let's go to war. All right, legal disclaimer, this is not financial advice. The content is for entertainment and education purposes only. You're responsible for every decision you make. We want you to have fun, use caution, and always go to war. Stay tuned at the end of the video. We're going to talk about new features, promotions, and events that Traders War Room has in the works. But put simply, here's all the products and services that you can get with Traders War Room. We got free and paid services. We got our Zoom classroom. Every battle needs a plan, and we want you to build your plan with Traders War Room. And we hope to see each and every single one of you over there at the Traders War Room Discord. Guys, a true one-stop shop with free and paid services. We got a killer program over there, and we want you on the team. You can find this and more right at traderswarroom.com. Come check us out today. And with that said, we want you to invest in yourself in 2022. And we hope you do that with Traders War Room. Now, with that said, let's get to it. All right, the Buzz Report, what's hot and what's not in the stock market. Here's how your markets closed today. It was a bloody day, and it was actually kind of a slow day. I mean, we had some pops and we had some drops, but overall, it was kind of a boring, kind of cross-side day in the marketplace today. Picture representation of the overall marketplace. Here's your ETFs that were doing their things. You saw energy kind of spiked up, and you saw some of the inverse ETFs doing their thing. And your industry performance. And guys, like I said, kind of 50-50. You saw energy and financials kick it into gear, but healthcare and consumer staples lag. So we're looking to see some rebounds on some of these losers and probably some cool downs on some of these winners. Total premiums, calls versus puts. Remember, we look at this because we want to know where the big money, the smart money is going, because it gives us the sentiment and potential direction that most of the big industries that have the market caps are going to follow. Here's your top trending stocks, and we got a couple of these stock charts that we're going to cover and then some in the next few slides. And I've told you guys many times, the penny market is starting to heat up, so we're having the most active penny stocks right here for you so you can get yourself ball rolling on some of these cheaper stocks. Listen, these things pop like 20 cents, but when you're going in deep on like 100 or 1,000 shares of these cheap ones, you can definitely make a good chunk of change. Futures, a lot of the green, but remember, futures are just a glimpse into what could be, not what will be. These are not set in stone, so just take them like a grain of salt. We use them to get a plan in motion, some strategies moving forward. All right, so your top story, U.S. homebuilder sentiment drops to 7-month low amid surging mortgage rates. So the confidence among U.S. single-family homebuilders fell to a 7-month low in April. Surging mortgage rates and snarled supply chains boosted housing costs, shutting out some first-time buyers in the market. Now, what does this tell me? I need to start paying attention to Home Depot. I need to start paying attention to Lowe. I need to start paying attention to some of the construction companies that are utilized for home building. And I need to pay attention to some of those REIT ETFs, okay? Catching it on the volatility, going up both ways, up on the call side, down on the put side, and looking for positions low to get into shares long. Next top story, more private equity firms express interest in a Twitter deal. So more private equity firms have expressed interest in participating in a deal for Twitter People familiar with the matter said on Monday. Now, this right here tells me that this is going to be a bidding war potentially between a couple different select groups of big money financial firms, and this will usually drive the price up. Okay, kind of a hostile takeover, and basically everyone kind of trying to get the best bang for their buck. Usually what you see when you got this type of interest is that this underlying stock will spike up, the hype will wear off, and then the price will start to drop down while everything gets calmer. So pay attention for that rise up. We want to be ready to make money on the upside and on the downside with this, but definitely the volatility will make Twitter more than likely shoot. I could see 55, maybe even $60 on the volatility information alone. And finally, Meta institutional investors urge opposing re-election of 2 board members. So a group representing some of the Meta platforms incorporated, Facebook, international investors urge shareholders of Facebook owners to vote against the re-election of 2 of its board members. So anytime you hear news like this, it doesn't really surprise me, and I'm not expecting any dramatic jumps or dumps in the underlying stock. However, you'll probably start to see a little downward trickle effect while people are trying to figure out what's going to happen with the board members and the vote and stuff like that. So look for a little bit of a downside, but this could be potentially that round shape and reversal that we're looking for in Facebook before we start to close up and clear that gap when Facebook dumped a few months ago. So we're paying attention to this, and it's definitely on the radar, as well as other social media platforms that typically ride Facebook's coattails. All right, enough news. Let's get into some stocks and some charts. All right, always starting off with SPY on our ETF watch. I do see some downside to SPY. Obviously, we're probably going to start bouncing and staying between the 435 and 440s area. But if you take a look at this, here's the flow for SPY. A lot of bearish sentiment going into SPY, so I do see some downside. Like I said, we'll probably fluctuate, and there'll be some dramatic spikes and there'll be some dramatic dumps. But overall, I do see SPY going back down and testing those lower levels of probably 430, maybe even 420s. Next ETF I'm going to talk about is coin. Now, with crypto kind of doing its thing lately, you're starting to hear more trending news about crypto and stuff. I do think that coin is going to start reversing to the upside. Now, we could have a little bit more of a push to the downside as we're still closing close to that bottom level fib line with just some wicks. But I think if we get a little bit more downward pressure and we start closing a little fuller towards the bottom, we'll hit that reversal and we'll start to climb to the upside. So I am bullish on coin, pushing out a few weeks. Next one, XOP. Now, this is an energy ETF, and I do think that we're going to have a cool down period here pretty soon. I mean, we've broken out multiple times, and it just continues to roll up. So we could see a continuation to the upside, but I am thinking that we're hitting a threshold here fairly soon, and we will see some downward pressure where we start testing back towards the 140s and the 135s. So definitely paying attention to a potential reversal on XOP. Here's our earnings for this week. Now, listen, we can't cover them all. There's just too many as earnings season is kicking off. But we're going to cover some of the highlights of some ones that I find interesting, and I hope you do as well, because they could have some good money-making opportunities. So Johnson & Johnson, they definitely have earnings tomorrow morning, and so that'll be a tell on what direction we want to trade Johnson & Johnson. Now, this is one of my preferred long-term dividend type of trades anyways, so anytime you get a dip in Johnson & Johnson is always a good time to purchase shares. However, seeing how the earnings are going to be tomorrow and seeing what we can get during the bell, we could definitely see an initial downtrend, and if they have some decent earnings with some good future forward focus, we can start looking to the call side, because they're probably going to start peaking back to the top to try to break out from the previous high. American Airlines, I like this. I think this is going to start getting into a breakout pattern here pretty soon. It went up there and it tested that 1950s, and it got rejected, came back down, but I do think that we're on our way back up to test that again, and hopefully we break through, especially with a lot of the bookings and a lot of orders coming up. Airline prices are starting to spike up, and when you see that type of thing, plus airlines are getting booked. That's money into these airline stocks, and this has been beat down for a while. I see American Airlines to the upside. Here's one that I'm bearish on, Interactive Brokers, so IBKR. I think we're coming into a kind of a ladder pattern to the downside. I don't think that we're going to do fairly well on some earnings, and even if we do, we might shoot up a little bit, but I think ultimately we're going to start profit taking, and this is going to start sliding to the downside, and we're going to go back down and start testing those 60s and even into the 55s, potentially going all the way down to the previous low that we have there at the 56.95 area. Netflix, guys, get ready for takeoff, okay? I think now earnings will be kind of a tell for this one, but even if we start dipping below this previous low level of this fib line, I think that we start to reverse strongly from there, and it'll be a definite decent pop with Netflix. Netflix likes to move, and you can always see, you know, anywhere between a $5, even upwards of a $20 movement in Netflix, especially with some decent moves. So pay attention to Netflix, as I think we're too low and we're starting to get the interest from big money to come back into Netflix. You had my curiosity, but now you got my attention. First of all, Snap. Guys, get ready for takeoff, okay? This thing kind of sold off a little bit, but we're definitely starting to pick up steam. I think going into earnings, this thing is going to catch some definite great volume to the upside. And it's a little risky holding it through earnings, but that's why we go out a couple weeks on our contracts. And this is definitely the price where you want to start accumulating some shares for Snap long term, in my opinion. Remember, we got that huge gap to cover, and gaps typically get covered one way or another eventually. So definitely, I'm a big proponent on Snap. I think it's a bull ride to the moon, and I definitely like this price for share accumulation as well. Next one that's piquing my interest is pins. And at this level where it's at currently, man, I'm loving me some pins. This is another one that definitely has potential to start accumulating some shares on this. And I like this moving forward. I think pins is going to start turning to the upside. Not a matter of if, but a matter of when this happens. And I definitely am thinking out long term. I like leaps on pins. Plus, I like share accumulation at this level as well. Twitter closing on an outside bar. I definitely like this for the volatility play. I think we continue keeping this with some strong spikes to the upside and some strong spikes to the downside, and playing off of the volatility with this bidding war for Twitter as far as it's concerned with Musk and some other big money type of institutions. So definitely keep your eye on this. If we start to get into a true hostile takeover with bidding wars going on, this thing could easily pop up $55, $60, maybe even $65 before it starts to cool down after the hype wears off. Bank of America, I'm loving me some Bank of America. I think the financial sector is due for a rebound, as it's been just absolutely demolished. And Bank of America is one of my choice ones at this particular level. I think we strongly reverse from these levels going into the closing of this week. They had some pretty good earnings, and they definitely showed a lot of forward future progress in their particular business model. Now, this is an interesting play, as this was CASA, and it peaked pretty hard today. But like anything, what goes up must come down. This is a classic case of a little too much too soon. Even with the Verizon contract for 5 years, I still think that we have a cool down before an eventual continuation of a run up. So paying attention to CASA, I definitely think you can catch some momentum to the downside and to the upside. So make sure you're watching this one and put this on your radar. Now, for a cheaper play on the energy field, CEI is a good one to pay attention to. What I've noticed is that CEI typically likes to run when you see both XOM and CVX running. So if you see both of those running in similar patterns, start paying attention to CEI, because you definitely can capture some decent movement with this, and this is cheap. You could easily go in on 100 shares and ride this thing up for a 15, 20, 25 cents and make some money off of each share individually. So a definite money maker potential right here. So put this on your radar as well, especially when XOM, CVX, and the energy sector as a whole is doing well. Last one I'm going to talk about, a little speculative trade, Tattoo Chef. Now, at this current level, this has definitely piqued my interest. I don't know if this is a good trade or a good valuation for this particular stock, but it's starting to get some trending momentum in the press. And so I do like this at this particular level. I think it's been beat up, and we're probably looking for a little bit of a reversal. Even if we continue to the downside or stay down here for some consolidation, I think we see an eventual pop, and it could easily go up to $11, maybe even $12 from the strong downtrend it's been on for a while. All right, first and foremost, I want to get everyone's attention to the Traders War Room Discord. Now, we do have free and paid services, but for some of those paid services, guys, listen, we give you a 5-day trial with any Premium 2.0. So come over, check it out, see what we have to offer on Premium 2.0, and if you like it, you stay with it, and if you don't like it, you can always cancel at any time, guys. This is definitely an investment in yourself in 2022, and we hope you do that with Traders War Room. We have tons to offer. Now, guys, we truly got so much going on. I'm just going to leave this here and let you guys read it, but I want to highlight a few of the items. Free and paid services, something for everyone and every budget. We got the AI algo bot, man. This machine learning trading bot is making a killer for everyone in any type of market, and guess what? It works on any platform, whether you're on the phone or the computer. TradingView, Webull, Robinhood, man, it doesn't matter. You can use it on any system that you're using, and a lot of the other algos out there, you got to use their particular platform. We got you covered. Use your platform and make some money. We also got 25 real-time buy and sell analysts that are pushing out alerts every day the market's open. We got bell-to-bell live trading. Anytime you want to during the trading sessions, you can come in there and bounce ideas off of a real professional trader. We got the upcoming classes, historical classes. We got the one-on-one mentoring, guys. It goes on and on and on. And yes, with the 5-day trial, you get that with 2.0. Come check us out today, traderswarroom.com, only on the Discord. We took April off doing the formal classes, but in May, we are coming out swinging. And some of the classes that we have in the works are supply and demand zone, trading futures, and trading divergence. Guys, I'm telling you, $15 a pop. You can't beat the content and the quality of what we put out, guys. Every battle needs a plan, and we want you to build that plan with Traders War Room. Check them out today, traderswarroom.com. And we got that one-on-one mentoring, guys. If you need to develop something specific and do a deep dive into you as a trader and investor, we got you covered. Whether you want to refine a strategy, develop a new plan, or increase your profitability, or just get some confirmation that you're doing the right things, man, Traders War Room has you covered. Book your session today right there on the website and invest in yourself. And finally, coming soon, summer of 2022, we got the Traders War Room instant messaging platform. You guys asked for a simpler approach to getting Traders War Room alerts, and we got you guys covered. Also, we got the Traders War Room official merchandise. We're going to have shirts, hats, masks, mouse pads, doormats, you name it, we're going to have it for you guys. A whole slew of items that you guys can get your Traders War Room swag on. And also, we got a futures trading bot that is going to come to you guys. Futures trading is picking up steam, and we got you guys squared away with one of the best futures trading bots that's going to be on any type of platform, man, making money hand over foot. And with that said, guys, you don't just have to come to Traders War Room to get our alerts, man. You want our alerts on your platform, DM or hit us up on the email for details. We'll come to a business decision, and we'll get you squared away with them fire alerts to make your members some money. With all that said, guys, that's the end of the video, man. What are you waiting for? Come join Traders War Room today, a true one-stop shop for all traders and investors. Thank you for your loyalty and support. And remember, at Traders War Room, we're looking at the stock market like a war zone. Stocks and sectors, those are our battles. We're doing it together as a team. Attack, conquer, destroy, and we're always going to war. If that sounds good, you're ready to rock it with us, and all I got to say to you is follow me, and let's go to war together.